yesterday.
I was gonna first take pictures.
Yeah.
But the second one,
How was the construction work?
Cold, it's cold.
they're just individually, I have to do it real quick.
Yeah.
This is like all
I
day.
promise, I get cold in the morning, I can never get pictures all day.
And the emails there too, so
About
I
a week
read your
ago.
mind.
Yes, you
Like
think
years,
you're,
I
yeah.
had 2 or 3 pair of blue jeans with flannel on.
We've been
Yeah.
working too long
I went to
together.
them.
Yeah,
That's right.
Sounds good.
we don't have nothing but cold, do we?
Jack,
Isn't it?
I got some of the cold
Yeah.
stuff like that, we got to be about 20 below where you wear them.
These are,
Bring it up.
I wore them all down there, you can do good. Now, I was in and out of my truck, and if I'd stayed out, I didn't put my bibs on, I believe, finally get to you. We worked cattle yesterday afternoon, and we were doing enough that it was pretty decent, you know.
Within a minute, it's time, starting time.
Who's that, Rob? Who is that?
Who is what?
I'm about.
That's the weather report.
What is it?
If you're wondering, Monday is gonna be 25 is the high and 11 is the low.
Oh my God.
According to this, that's what I was looking up, 37 and 13, 42 and 22, 34 and 22 next week.
Just don't look for me, I won't be out.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about the weather. I was trying to look it up, but one of my guys this morning said he had heard it was gonna be 9 Monday.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking just to see if it was.
Yeah, well, that's good that you looked that up.
I'm on top of it. But it's Melissa and my children on the front. You want to see that?
Oh,
Pass that around. Yeah.
All right, at 6:30, we'll get started. We'll call the meeting to order and have a word of prayer. Don't be bad with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for the many blessings that you brought to each and every one of us around the table tonight. And those visiting, Lord, as we come to the town meeting tonight, let us always be thinking of things that we please to you, Lord. As we also look around this table, Lord, and those that are visiting tonight, Lord, be with those, bring them good health, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for bringing some back from illness, Lord, that they could be with us tonight. And Lord, as we look across this town, we know there are others who are ill, and there's been loss in this town recently, Lord, and be with those families. As we come to the table tonight, just always keep it in our hearts to do things that be pleasing to you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, we'll have a pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you very much. Have a reading of the minutes.
The Elkmont Town Council met in regular session Monday, January 5th, 6:30 PM at the Elkmont Town Hall. Attending the meeting were Mayor Tracy Compton, council members Dustin Clark, Jack Gilbert, and Tammy Presnell. Mayor Compton called the meeting to order and led in prayer following the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag. Minutes of the December 15th meeting were read by the clerk. A motion to approve the minutes as read was made by Councilman Gilbert and seconded by Councilman Clark. Motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to suspend the rules of order by Councilman Christ and seconded by Councilwoman Presnell. Motion carried unanimously. Jody Wilson was in attendance and said that they had met with the plumber concerning the Kleiner building. The contractor gave an estimate of $13,000 for demolition and also to fix the plumbing. Ms. Wilson indicated this contractor could complete the work within a week. Lisa Davis was in attendance and indicated that the trees on the Tinsel Trail that were undecorated, were laying on their side, and anyone who wanted to haul them off were welcome to do so. A motion was made to come back in session by Councilwoman Presnell and seconded by Councilman Gilbert. Motion carried unanimously. Mayor Compton indicated the seed house would be done this year. Mayor Compton indicated that the Elkmont Fire Department has posed the possibility of Elkmont having 2 certified firefighters available to be on call 5 days a week during daytime hours. While not on a call, those 2 members would be available to perform any town duties we identify, such as cleanup, maintenance, repairs, etc., within their skill set. Fire and medical calls would take priority over any other duties. The town would pay the two members for dedicated fire service 40 hours per week. The council agreed that this should be done via independent contractors, IRS Form 1099, and not as town employees. A motion was made to give the mayor the authority to make the call with the contract received for the demo and plumbing for the Kleiner building by Councilman Gilbert and seconded by Councilwoman Presnell. Motion carried unanimously with no further business to discuss. A motion to adjourn was made by Councilman Gilbert and seconded by Councilman Clark. Motion carried unanimously. The meeting adjourned.
Any additions or corrections to this?
I move we approve.
Second,
A second.
all in favor? Motion carries. All right, we have a motion to suspend the rules.
I'll offer.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. Ms. Wingard, we'll start with you. I'm gonna run down the list here.
I'm good.
Glad to have you here. Ms. Gay, welcome. Glad to have you. Ms. Barbara? Anything? Okay. All right.
Except loose cows on the wall.
I see. Caleb, do you have anything right now?
No, sir, not
Okay.
really.
All right. Ray? All right, very good. Mr. Curtis?
No.
Very well. Miss Melissa? And Jody, you're actually on the agenda,
Okay.
so we'll pick you up unless you got something else you want to talk about. And Mr. Justin?
No, sir.
All right, okay. Do we have a motion to come back into session?
Yes.
I'll second.
All in favor? Motion carries. All right, for town projects, we've got, on old business, we got several things. We got some personnel things and we got some project things. So projects first, Ronald, I thought maybe, I don't know where we are exactly on the roofs, but I thought if you would tell us where you think we are.
We are done with the leather and lace roof.
Good.
You know, we'll have to keep an eye on it as you would anytime you put a new roof on, but they put a new structure on it. Put the roofing on, it's done. They seem to have cleaned everything. You know, you have to have a certain temperature for a certain period of time to spray back over the roof at the warehouse, and I imagine we're waiting on a period of time that meets those requirements
Uh-huh.
to get that done. I didn't talk to them this past week, but it seemed to be mostly cleared off. You know, the old
Yeah.
stuff that they got to get cleaned off seems to be mostly done. I've talked to them there, and they said that they had done what they said they had worked, you know, when they weren't open and had not caused any disturbance for the customers. So
Okay,
I think they've done a good job with it so far.
very good. That's always good news. All right, let's see. Miss Jody, if you want to, we'll go ahead and talk about the Kleiner building. I know you actually had a few estimates
Yes.
in addition, and as Bowling will do, I didn't get any of that, and I just happened to look at my Gmail, because Tanya knows, and she sends stuff to my Gmail and my Bowling account, so I did pick it up this afternoon. I don't know.
And we've had a change this afternoon too, so, for the concrete flooring, we got a new estimate that's cheaper. So I'm gonna send out a revised summary tomorrow. I didn't have a chance to do that on my computer, but I sent you the new estimate.
Which one is the concrete? I've got one.
David's concrete's one we had before.
And this new one is Patriot.
All right, and what are they?
They're gonna do the flooring, they're gonna seal it and, you know, put I don't think it's an epoxy, but it's an epoxy type coating over the top. It's supposed to be very durable, it's a very reliable company. So we're gonna go with them if you guys are okay with that.
Okay, Ron, did you get a chance to look at any of
I
those?
did. I'd like to see a picture of the floor. What floor
Okay,
plan,
I
what finished
have
floor plan
samples,
look
I
like.
just went and picked up from the building, so you can look at those.
And maybe a shot of the, well, we're talking about any of them right now, right? The North Alabama glass estimate, the service windows.
Yes.
I'd like to have a cutaway view of those.
Oh, there wasn't one in there?
Mm-mm. It
Okay,
just
I'll
lists
send that to you, they
everything.
sent one to me, so I can send that.
Because it seems like you'd have to have framing after you cut that hole out to put those in, but maybe they can cut it that tight, I don't know.
Okay.
All right, and now I know that I know we had like an initial layout of the building and then I think the ADA stuff and all, maybe, do we have any idea are we still basically at the same look inside?
It's
that
all
we had?
exactly the same. The bathroom, we've moved the wall, to accommodate the ADA. So we've moved the wall in that bathroom. Then we moved the wall on the other side of that storage room. So it's made the first room a little smaller. The storage room is about the same, and then the bathroom's a little bigger, so. That's the only thing that's really changed as far as, square footage wise.
And that sink that's on the back wall, it's in the kitchen area.
Sure is. And that'll be blocked off.
And I think, with the 0 degree stuff coming, we probably ought to cut that meter off if it's on.
Oh, okay.
Because Ronald noticed, and I don't know, we should have paid closer attention, but I guess the water line.
So there's brand new piping from the water meter into the building too. They took all that out and put in the PEX.
Okay,
Am I
that'd
saying
be,
that right?
that'd be less
Okay,
like it
so
does.
all of that, so I know that was a concern when we turned the water on, cause it'd been so long.
Yeah,
So that's all new piping in there.
but it still comes up out of the ground first.
It does.
Yeah, we weren't, if we'd have thought we'd have had the plumber guy to while he was cutting holes in the concrete, we'd had him cut into the building
Yeah.
and run that and stub it up on the inside, but we didn't notice it, so that thing may blow up like a balloon over the next couple of days, next night, so
Okay,
probably need to cut the water off,
okay.
just so it won't create a bill. So I guess, just give us just a little bit to look these over, so we
Okay.
got, what is this one from 1300 from,
So that's the
electric.
main
This is the one you want
That's-
first,
yeah,
right?
that's the one that leads to the next step. It's just to clear out all the electrical, demo and then to add the amps. I put on there what they
Yeah,
were going to
two
add.
20 amp circuits?
Right,
Okay. $1,300 for that.
These are just tent plugs, right?
Uh-huh.
Just to work off of.
correct, yeah.
Okay. All right, so this one you'd like to get, the electric one you'd like to get approved.
That would be great.
Immediately if we could,
Yes.
and then the others, you got some additional information you'll shoot tomorrow.
Right, and I'll just let you know too, that everything that's been taken out of that building, people have gone through the dumpster and taken all the metals, all that. I mean, that's to be expected. He did say that he was concerned about when we put the garage doors in, because some of that's gonna have to be open, like those garage doors are gonna have to be open for maybe a week or two. So I don't know what we can do to maybe help keep an eye on that area. There won't be anything in the building necessarily that they would want, but there's clearly people moving around, so.
Yeah, so that all moves, right, Ron? I mean, those doors, where the doors are now is not gonna be where they are.
Well, they're in those openings, but they're getting smaller.
Yes,
Okay,
they're gonna be about 8.
okay, so the lintel, or what do we call it, will stay? Okay.
Yeah, I would expect so.
Yeah, okay, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I missed that in that review. Okay, all right, I guess we need to entertain a motion to approve the temporary electrical installation, $1,300. If that looks okay to everybody, let these guys get started with that.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Is the town paying for all of the remodel and renovation, or are we splitting that with you guys?
We're paying for all the renovation that we think would be necessary for any tenant that we might want. Once it gets to something that is specific to just what they want and we don't think it would serve general purpose, then we'll negotiate those at that time.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how we do it. And right now, we're just in the basics, but yeah, there'll come a time where we have to decide, okay, we think that now is on you to do.
I got you.
I'll offer a motion for to approve the electric bid.
Motion, $1,300.
I'll second.
On the second, all in favor? Motion carries. Okay. All right, and get that other to Ron, if we look at that, and we'll
Okay,
sold up. And those bids are for now what else the glass people doing? They're putting in the,
the drive-through window and the walk-up window.
okay. Even though you really aren't gonna have a drive-through, right?
Oh, we are gonna have a drive-through
You are gonna have a drive-through.
and a walk-up.
You gonna circle the building?
No, you're gonna come in through that end and turn around where the ditch is and come out.
Go back to your right after you
Correct.
get to it.
Oh,
And
So go-
we run the biggest trucks you can imagine through there to make sure that there's no issues.
so like where that little overhanging thing is where the
You'll come in
drive-through
from the
is?
street,
Okay.
go towards the walking trail because that's the driver's side. So those will be the ones on the drive-through side.
That's the drive-through window. Now, Jody had to show you, I don't know where they're planning on putting the walking window, I would assume back here.
The walk-in is gonna be right up front, just to this side, like if these are the two garage doors, and the walk-up's gonna be right here. On this side.
On the front wall,
Uh-huh, on the front wall.
On the front wall toward the drive-in,
Yes,
Part-
so like,
so on that end down
it'll be
there?
the garage door, it'll be the walk-up window, and this will be the drive-through right here.
Okay, gotcha.
Now, all of that in the front, you know, is gonna be roped off for seating and all that too, so
Yeah,
that the walk-up people won't be in the drive-through way.
okay. All right, and did you say you don't have another estimate for this though, for the windows and stuff?
I do have an estimate for the windows, that's on there.
No, I mean, you don't have a second estimate for this?
No.
You said you got another one for the
The
concrete?
flooring, the concrete flooring.
Gotcha, gotcha, okay.
Mhm.
All right, okay,
And it was about $3,800 less, so.
okay, perfect. And this estimate then, okay, that's where I was trying to get to, and I
Yes.
lost my train of thought. $7,400 essentially. So it's the drive-through window, the walk-up window, and the caulking, and then there's a bunch of exclusions, which I don't understand what they're trying to say there. They're trying to tell me
it's not
something.
gonna be automatic.
Do what?
It's not gonna be motorized, right?
Right.
That's basically, all those exclusions are motorized window openings and stuff. You have to
Oh, okay.
move it with your hand.
I
Yeah.
got you, okay, all right. All right, so as soon as we get little pictures on that or whatever,
Sure.
then we'll be able to make a decision on that pretty quick. That's
Okay,
very good. Anything else
No.
from you tonight?
that's it.
All right, perfect. All right.
Corey, get those lifts out of the floor?
No, not yet. We pulled him up and the guy pulled him up and he was afraid to cut into him because they were so full of hydraulic fluid.
Yeah.
And Corey's like, it's not gonna catch fire, it's fine, you know, to cut it. And he's still afraid to. So anyway, they're bringing a plasma cutter to cut through them. And we're gonna drop the bottoms back down
And concrete over
and
them?
correct, yes.
Okay.
There you go. All right, good deal.
Alright,
All right, so you're good now, Jody,
I'm good.
for right now?
I'm good, thank
Perfect,
y'all.
thank you very much. All right, the Seed House. So we have talked to Scott again. Ron, I had a couple of questions, like I said, my questions were pretty benign. Ron had a few more questions, just some things to work through on finishes and stuff that really hadn't even been picked, and that's really not critical, I don't think, at this point, but here's basically 3 copies, so.
Yeah, I got them in here.
All right, so this is essentially what we're talking about, for him to go and quote for us. And it's nothing different from what we've talked about from the beginning, other than these are, this now has detailed planning to go with it. So he'll go and start preparing to get with folks to be able to work up, what we need to do to get bid, to go bid the package out. So you can look at this, and if you see something obviously we can make changes once we let the contract, that's not a huge deal, but if you see something, obviously, you have to get a magnifying glass to read this thing, but if you see something that you absolutely don't like, that you say, whoa, I don't remember us talking about that, or that's not what I thought we wanted, we can change that, but this is what it is.
One thing we need to remember is that water meter's still over there. Nobody ever, the water people wouldn't take it out because we couldn't tell them where we wanted it to go. So where that sidewalk is gonna go to those 2 walk-in doors, that thing goes across there, it's right over against the corner of the building right there. And,
The
so
corner at the road, Jack, or where exactly is the meter?
it's up at the,
Northwest, isn't it?
if you go up the hill, it's right at the corner of the building going up the hill right there.
Okay.
And they've covered it up with dirt. So,
Oh,
but if you poured what I think they're gonna do, the concrete, like you go off the street and go to those walk-in doors.
Yeah.
They'd go
They
across
go
it.
right across it. I see what you're saying.
So just,
Yeah,
if anybody's working there, I'll drive by every day.
yeah.
And I said something to the guy that dug up the gas line about, if that was gonna be in the way, we'd just dig it up and just lay it all on top of the ground out there. But he wasn't interested in doing that.
All right. Okay, well, that's the seat house, so y'all take that, look it over. Like I said, we got time, there's things in there that you don't like. Event updates, what we have any, personnel updates, Ray's here, Tony, I think you have some questions there. So Ray's here if you ask your questions.
Well, I didn't have questions at the time, but I've got a few I can ask him.
Sure.
Are these the same thing?
Yeah, they're the same thing.
What is your official title with the town of Altamont?
Contractor, I guess parks and recs and other things that associate with it.
And when did you start with that role?
I'd have to look at the date.
Approximate fine.
I don't know, summer?
Yeah, I think it was some.
Summer of
Last year.
Yeah.
25.
Yes, sir.
And what all is included in your duties and responsibilities with or per your job description?
Anything from the help with the parks, get cleaned up, picked up, whatever we have to do, upgrade things that were there, keep a schedule of the field maintenance, making sure they have their insurance, make sure they have that the schedules are setting, and different things. I come down here, I do some of the bathrooms, I do the trash cans, I do the park back here, the bathrooms I go down and do there. So,
That part of it, the downtown, is what Mr. Clem used to do.
Yeah. Yeah, he came through every morning.
Just looked around, make sure nobody trashed anything that night.
All right, for the projects that you're responsible for with your role in the town, do you pay out of pocket for the required supplies and get reimbursed by the town? Or does the town purchase the supplies and make them available to you?
depending on what it is. I mean, there's been time where we went down and picked stuff up from Home Depot that the town has paid for. There's times that I went and purchased stuff and brought it back and brought a receipt. There's been times where I took some of the money and bought it and gave it as a donation from the youth program.
And what town projects are you working on right now, or that you've worked on in the past few months, not including volunteer time? Just what you've worked for the town specifically.
Anything from rolling up hoses to picking up stuff to helping out with the vehicle, helping out with the bathrooms, in and out of trash cans, in and out of the buildings up there at the park or down here. Just what it is. Sometimes I'm up there with Mr. Chris who's doing stuff for the floor. Sometimes I'm up there doing stuff. Reset the ice machine that's been broke for years on end, 5 or 6 years. That's been had to been repaired twice. So depending on what goes on. I mean, I'm downtown 3 or 4 times a day. Depending on what needs for this bathroom, things get set up. I get calls if someone, a worker used it, blew it up. I gotta come over here and get it set done, make sure the floor is in. That's just in and out of days.
That for the
This bathroom right
depot.
here.
The depot.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to check on those doors from Flanagan's,
Yeah, they said
the
it's still
order.
coming in.
It's been time enough, I think.
Yeah.
And I've had a few people, some of them that are affiliated with the youth league. I've heard rumors that the dugouts on field 3, I believe, the one at the bottom of the Eagle, far back in the park, that those dugouts are not finished because the town cut funding.
No, not true.
Okay.
Not true. There was no cut funding for that at all. Actually, A lot of that paint that was done there, the spray paint that the town bought quite a bit of that in some of the red. That sealer was what was done with it, and then they changed the weather. We had to get the sealer in. And that's what changed that. And they're not done only because of this side of the weather and the circumstance what it was. It had nothing to do with cut funding.
Do you know about when the last time that was worked on the?
Probably November.
November?
Mhm.
Alrighty. And how many hours on average do you work per week in your town role?
It's depending, somewhere about 8, 10, 11 per the whole week. Depending on what's going on.
And in one of the mayor's emails, he said you were also a volunteer with the youth league.
That's correct.
Appreciate your time. How do you decide or differentiate on whether time spent working at the park is volunteer time or is time submitted to the town for pay?
Well, the volunteer time was football. I never put one time or one information about football in anything of my time frame. So that was never included in anything I did. Now, if there's something going on with the softball and I had to watch things or check the things or check them in, check them out, that was part of put it there. Nothing to do with I volunteered with football.
So you said softballs or
Softball,
baseball?
there was some kickball, there was some parties, from birthday parties to other parties. There was times where you had businesses come up there and kind of use the fields for different things. Company parties, kickball competitions, 2 or 3 times now for that one.
All right. And I've noticed, I think John Bob had sent pictures of the electrical switches.
Yes. Yeah, that was removed already too. That was a setup. I'll call it what it was. Someone drove through. I got the pictures of the trucks and cars where they drove through there. And the last time we turned a light on up there was November, when the tournaments all ended and everything was done. No one's touched those boxes or had it open, but all of a sudden that happened, and you can see it. And I've got pictures of even the tire marks are fresh. So however that was set up or what was done, it was vandalized. And I've already told the mayor to reference it, and I'll make the vandalization report tomorrow. I'll get Limestone County up here if I have to and make the report.
Sure, yeah, exactly.
Because that's vandalized. That was broken on purpose.
That's a lot of boxes to be broken on purpose. But
It is, it took some time, didn't it?
Yeah.
I guess I had to drive around every one.
And tell you what, you'd be surprised. I remember when they used to go around with a bat and hit every top of the fence. You're talking about how many they do in the night.
and the graffiti in the dugout
Mhm.
in the
That just needs to be
field.
painted over. We knew about that. That was brought up.
Right, but that was brought up a while ago.
And we just got it painted over. But we're going to share what we're doing with the dugouts on that one. We're going to turn white and red like the rest of them, or we're going to keep them gray and red like they were. And that was the last point of that one.
All right, and that's all I had for right now.
All right, so the summer program, when do they begin to start meeting, rating out?
They got a meeting coming up in February, the Sawston. Whenever they get their keys, they'll have it for those months.
Yeah, so that's.
But there never was a cleanup day or a week cleanup or a day cleanup. There was never an open ceremony. None of that happened. No, I read all that stuff that was posted too. None of that never happened.
Yes,
Since I've been here, none of that worked with it. They haven't even come up and cleaned their stuff. They were told to clean up.
yes, that's what you.
A lot of those pictures he put are around that building that we've already discussed that. That's all the youth program stuff, and like we were told back with the
Told you not to
last
mess
board,
with it.
don't touch
That's all
anything
right.
that's not theirs. So I never touched that. Some of those pictures are taken from the trash bin there, and the bush that's there, that picnic table's in the back. That they laid the wood on top of it. That picnic table was already broke. The wood was not laid on top of it. I knew that already. But if you'll go look, you've seen how many of them we've already replaced. Brand new picnic tables that have already been made and replaced. There's
So much better than it was before you got here, so I don't know why people are complaining, other than, we got more things to do, and I guess my point all of it is, the youth league is responsible for that, it always have been, so that's where it's falling
So I
down.
got a question for you, sir, since you brought that up. Why me? And of all the contractors, and they've got a lot more hours and a lot more money, why me?
Because I know you're involved with the park specifically.
Because with me, I'm a retired military for 31 years. I feel like it was attacking my character and definitely my integrity. So I wanted to know why, because if you watch me and you come around, you'll see how much time I really do spend here without charging the city. Instead of questioning the situational, see the situational. And yes, I do spend a lot of time volunteering too, either at the school or whether it be at the park, whatever. There's times that I've been up there, nobody even, didn't even get charged. And then my question was on the time framing, when it started getting cold, my busiest week has been like 11 hours max. And that's me doing the trash cans, me doing the toilets, all this stuff. So I'm wondering why all that came up. That's just this question for me too.
I'm just curious, you pay the tax money, I'm
Okay,
just curious.
okay. Because I was just wondering why everybody else didn't question.
So you don't have, you don't have any particular, beef with Ray, and you don't, none of this and all this stuff from John Bob is not in any way tied together? It's all totally random events?
John Bob is John Bob, I don't have any control over him.
I called him today and talked. He said he had nothing, he told me he had nothing to do with it. I seen him posted it, but he said he had nothing to do with it, so.
Yeah, well, I think he's volunteering. I mean, that's
Good.
why, that's great. So we're gonna get him, he's gonna be involved working.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, they wanna volunteer and do that. It's not about the money. They wanna volunteer and do that. That's less I don't have to do. It's not a problem with me. Those things are not a problem with me. I do it because I feel when I get a call to say, hey, this is sitting over here, we need this done. I drive down here because I figure I'm retired. I'm the only one that's got time. That's why everybody else hasn't done it. So I come down and do it. It has nothing to do with the point set of it. It's just the idea of doing it. That park, there's a lot of stuff that's been brought up about that park. There's that stuff sitting in that park that y'all known about for 15, 20 years ain't been done about. And it's been brought up more than that. I got people who are sitting here that's been brought up. We've sat and discussed it multiple times. That should be done and should be changed.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with you.
I know, but I just want that to be known that because a lot of these things that put out point back, well, a project manager or the city hired a manager for this and this. The manager has nothing to do with that part. I can't make that happen if no one else is gonna get it done. I can ask for it all day long.
Yeah, oh, that does remind me. Did we ever get that second quote back for the tennis court fence?
No, he didn't get, I'll get with him though. He was the one that wanted to know about,
If you tore the asphalt up?
yeah, what would happen.
Yeah.
And I did go up there since you and I talked and look at the power poles, you know, whether we wanted to demo them or not. Now, they are very nice, and I don't know, we haven't decided what we were gonna use that spot for. Is it just gonna be grass? But they can take the tennis court down and leave the lights.
Okay, I think we might wanna do that. What do you think, Ron?
Yeah, I don't know how difficult that's gonna be. I don't know how deep anything's buried. Or, you know, you start pulling up that fence and you're running right around the edge of that asphalt. I don't know if you're gonna have conduit right there or not. You know,
And nobody knows if any of it went under the concrete or not. You would think they
can't
would.
imagine anybody knows anymore.
Yeah, yeah. But we can save them in case we wanna turn them on for something.
Yeah, and that switch there doesn't work at all. I've already, that box, nothing comes on, no power at all, it even buzzes.
Well, those tennis courts were redone a long time ago and never used. And the mess that's in there, the summer program asked for that to be a batting cage.
Yep.
And we said, okay, no tennis has been played in there. So they're the ones that put that stuff in there. It isn't
And that's the broke down stuff that's rotted that we've talked about.
those
That's gonna
holes.
take- That's gonna take professionals to move that. That's not one person move that, maybe all right.
But that wasn't junk that from disuse. It was put in there for a purpose, and then for some reason they quit using it for a batting cage. So it's still there. I
The
noticed.
reason was there's not enough teams. In the old days, we built a fourth field and then you scheduled 5 teams at a time and one team got tennis court. Cause you could take bat and practice and you could throw ball. If you have a young team, that's good enough. You know, they just listen to you on where to throw it anyway, you know. So that you schedule 5 teams at a time, but they don't have 36 and 38 teams anymore up there like we did 15 years ago. So that's the genesis of what happens when it was an important part of what was going on, it was taken care of. There was back when we had to use those wooden mounds, right? Melissa knows, but you had to have a mound out there, and so you had a mound on the tennis court, and every game before you played, the players went out there and warmed up. You know what I mean? That's where they warmed up. But I'm sure, as I understand it, there's only like 9 teams now, something like that.
I know to rent the fields during the season, like that's off limits. What are the requirements to rent the youth league fields out of season?
Yeah, no rent, it's free, you just have to have a insurance, you have your insurance and your updated insurance. And depending on what league you're from, a list of your league, players and coaches, so they're underneath the insurance. And then fill out the paper that asks for the dates and the times.
And I think the paper also asks for what kids from Altamont are.
Yeah, how many kids are from Elmont?
Is there a certain percentage that has to be from Almont?
I don't think we have a percentage on there, but we can give you the form, wherever it is.
I've got them up at the.
Tanya have a copy. Yeah, if you want to modify the form, we can do some additional stuff.
When did we put those dugouts on field 3 and 2, Ray? Do you remember when that happened?
No, I wasn't here.
Year before last? I knew it'd been maybe 2 years. We didn't pay for that, did we? I thought they usually paid.
Yeah, usually pay for it.
I thought they did. They wouldn't have been even running out of money from here. It was their money that did it.
Yeah.
Is what I was getting at. Because for years, you know, field 1 and field 4 had block dugouts, but field 2 and field 3 had chain link fence around them. Call it a dugout, but it wasn't a dugout, you know. But yeah, that's what I was curious on when they had done that, so about 2 years.
Okay, that's when all that concrete work was done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and it takes
Yeah,
forever
we
to
paid.
you gotta get the seal, it'll still suck the whole 5-gallon seal up, you figured that out already.
Yeah,
That one dugout sucked the whole 5-gallon seal up. I'm just trying to get it smooth.
that's what
First thing we paid on it.
any masonry is just a.
And we've already got a 5-gallon white up there too, we're gonna try to do the concession stand in white with the red trim, kind of to match the high school, but we haven't had the opportunity, because we still gotta worry about, we're still moving stuff in and out. So I know that, and I'll respond to that too, I know, pictures were taken of stuff going in and out of the concession stand, and that was the youth league stuff that they voted on, told me to get rid of it, I gave it to a church. So I had the church come up with a trailer and put it all in, and they took it. So that was approved by the league for their stuff to be removed. It was nothing, city owned zero of that. And I called the church and gave it to a church. And they just get thrown in the trash.
I saw pictures of that post earlier today about the gates and stuff that's off the fences. I mean, I'm kinda new to the youth league, but is that something we need to handle, or is that something we need to get with the city and handle, or?
Yeah, if you find something, just let us know so we can get somebody to repair. You know, if it's something beyond like an easy repair, we can ask Ray to go do, then we need to find somebody that can repair it.
I mean, I just know, I know field 1 and field 3, they've got gates that's missing, or got a gate hanging off partially of the fence. And so, I mean, like I said, I was just I seen those complaints about it today, so that's why I was wondering, how do we need to handle that?
Like chain link stuff? Is
Yes.
that what you're talking about?
Like the chain link gates, where you can like drive onto the field with,
Yeah.
They've been broken, Ben.
I mean, they've been broken
From
for a
field to
while,
field.
but.
They wanna pick it up, put it over there to hold it in when they got a game there. Another one move it up here to put it in when there's a game there.
Yeah, we can get Athens Fence to come up and tell us what all's wrong and give us an estimate of what it takes to fix it all.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And somebody had mentioned the concession stand. During the off-season when nobody's playing there, is there any use in the concession stand? Is there any need for the power to be on?
We hold our meetings in it.
I said, so we had meetings there, birthday party held there, but that, like the gas, all that's turned off. I mean, the.
Used to, we kept the coolers on.
Yeah, it's all
Because when the
coolers.
strings got cold, they had to stay cold. You kept
The coolers.
I think the ice
That's what it
machine,
used to be.
the ice machine and the coolers are still on, everything else has been turned off.
So the heat and the air is not on?
No, that's off.
It'll be the first time it's been off. It used to always stay on.
What's that?
The heat, because I go up in the wintertime, that unit would have to be running. But I was told it needed to be running to keep the pipes from busting.
Yeah.
It was mentioned to me in December, and since then, we turned it off. They've been to 2 meetings already, and it's been off every time they've walked in, so. And I get there early, and make sure it's swept out, make sure it's ready for the meeting, set the chairs up, whatever we need to do.
Well, I got Chris looking at the cameras up there and getting all that reset for us, so we can maybe see who's doing all the vandalizing and such, and have them arrested as they need to be. So hopefully we'll be able to get.
Because we've had zero use for the lights since November. And I called the team that was the last one on there that helped me lock it up. Because we walk by and make sure we relock it each time, and I tell them, you can call anybody that's been up there, I don't care what time of day or night, if they need to get into that light, I would be there. And if I go out of town, I leave my keys hung at my house, and when these guys can go to my house, open my door, and pull the key up and do it for them. I have it accessed even when I'm not in town. I have it available. I have someone available at all times to cover anything I do, if it's needed.
Now, Joe, well, I mean, that's above and beyond anything we've had. I mean, that's, that's just like nice. That's all that is. Did Joe winterize the bathrooms? Joe,
I think so, we cut the water off,
a while back?
yeah, well,
But you drain the,
yeah, he,
yeah, that.
Joe
little thing
does.
Joe and
outside.
Chris were discussing that when they were getting ready to start the
We
cleaning
use
that other room.
Yeah.
And, I told him, I said, well, don't we have to turn the water off to drain it first? They laughed at me. And then they said, we got it. So we made a laugh out of it.
Yeah. So I thought I remember them talking about that. So that's, so Joe takes care of that for us.
As far as I know, yes.
All right. So Tony, do you have concerns? I'm just trying to figure out what the issue is, that we've tried to solve a problem we don't have, or,
There's no issue right now. I was just curious.
well, all right.
I'm new and learning and was curious.
Yeah, I wish I could believe a word you said, but I can't, so that's okay.
I know the feeling.
All right. We will move on. Fire department. So the firemen, we have, we have a proposal on the table for the 2 firemen. I want you guys to be thinking about that, but don't necessarily mean, I don't think they're in terrible rush. But one of the things that'll do, and Ray, I'm glad you're here actually for that, because in this 40-hour a week, so we have 2 firemen full-time available for anything that happens, medical or fire. And they would be here, in the daytime, because I think they said that there's hardly any calls that they actually service during daytime hours, because all of them are working. So some other department has to come, we've had that conversation. So in talking to Chris, this is something they would like to do. They do something early every morning, some type training, some other things, but other than that, they kind of would be available. They would be available. Now, I think, we would need to write up descriptions of what that would be. This would be contractors, like Ray, but they would be 40-hour a week contractors. So we would, anything that Ray needed, he could direct them,
A singular 40-hour a week made
2.
up by 2 people, or
No.
2 40-hour
They
a week?
want 2
Okay.
40-hour a week. So it's a pretty good lick.
Yeah.
And Aviagen would probably cover one of them, that's what we
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. So that's the, they're really good about off beating the bushes for funding, and they're between Aviagen and then they wanted to go to Snap-on Electric Field too. But Aviagen, they thought after they got started, they don't have a guarantee that anybody's gonna pay anything, but there was strong indication that Aviagen would be willing to pitch in for at least probably one of them. Basically, they were gonna give, the idea was they would give $10,000 per site or something,
Yeah.
whatever it's called.
Yeah, and they got 5 sites.
And they got 5 sites within the Elkmont Fire Department area, so that would be $50,000 if they.
Yearly?
Yes.
Mhm.
So that would pay for one of them.
Yeah, we're talking now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the price of one, we get 2. And,
Paying it all.
yeah,
And I finally understood something else about when I was talking to Chris Crable one day, about Aviagen was gonna pave the parking lot at the fire station. I couldn't figure out why they were doing that, but the trucks go
They use
in
it.
and they back up to the side doors of Aviagen's building. And if you go between the buildings and pull out there and back up, you do pretty good, but if they go the other way, you have to go make basically a U-turn, and you scrub your tires in the gravel, and you're always making holes and stuff like that. So they said since Aviagen, they're kind enough to let Aviagen use it, then they'd pay it, so all that makes sense.
okay.
Hadn't
Yeah.
heard that before,
Yeah, and I think they are gonna come back, eventually on the helipad there's still fencing that needs to go around it and stuff, so they're, we told them to come back when they had their prices on that kind of stuff, so. So right now, we wouldn't have any guarantee of any money, but the plan would be that they would get funding at least for one of the 2. So yeah, it'd be 80 hours a week, and that's a lot, and we would, part of what I would, talking about job description, so, raises mainly trash and status, and if we ask him to do something, or he finds something that needs doing, we say go, yeah, that's good to go do that, give us some ideas. But this would need, we would need to, it'd be similar in that we don't have 40 hours worth of work times 2 for people to do. Their main job is to be firemen. if somebody needs help. But they agree that they don't have to sit at the fire station to do that. They could help do things. So I think we'd want to know who the people are and approve anybody that would be getting paid. They would be 1099 employees, which means they're independent contractors, not working directly for the town. And then I think as Ray comes up with things that he sees that we need, or we see as a body of things that we think that we need, then we could assign those tasks for them to do. As long as it's within their skill set. You know, we're not gonna have them go do the seed house, you know, something like that. But if there was if one of them knew how to do plumbing and we needed some plumbing done, or one of them, you know, same kinds of things Chris Smith does for us. If some of those guys could do it, and we're already paying them, then we could get them to do, you know, routine maintenance type stuff. Or
Do we have an hourly wage or is this?
their proposal was, and I broke it down by the hour because I thought all along we would be talking about contractor type stuff, which would be by the hour. They were at $40,000 and $45,000, so that to me is $20 and $22. They said somebody has to be in charge. I think that's funny. They said if there's two of them, one of them has to be in charge, and they have to know who it is. That's the one who gets $22. So yeah, I know that was Chris said that was straight out of his mouth. It's important that they know that one of them knows the other one is in charge. So yeah. So anyway, that's their proposal. It's on the table for us to think about. I think from a town standpoint, I think financially we can do it. I mean, continual conversations with the sheriff and the county commission chairman on trying to figure out a good solution on the police side of things. But I think we want, you know, I would like to have 2 shifts there too in a week. So that would be a total of 4 40-hour shifts, all said and done, 2 police, 2 fire, if we can get all this in place. So that's kind of, you know, it's 3 more than we've had when Donnie was here. So vast improvement over what we got. And that's what I think we ought to all be part of. And Tony and Tammy will be part of that improvement. So it'll be a good thing. So be thinking about it, and be thinking about job description, things that you want to include and maybe just important to exclude from that. You know, so before we go and try to put that in place. And of course, you can vote no too and not do anything. It's always an option.
So would we obligate ourselves to the 80 hours a week and hope somebody pays half of it, or do we obligate ourselves to 40 hours a week and tell them they gotta find the other 40?
I think what they would like to do, and maybe we could do this for 6 months, we would obligate ourselves to the 80, and maybe we give them a time frame to come up with funding. Because, you know, in my mind, at least the way, you know, mowing works, your budgets are set for this year already. You know, they set the budgets, but in the summertime they decide what they're going to spend the next year. So I would think, I'm just guessing, that unless Avigen just has enough that they can swing, you know, a few thousand, maybe not 50, but 10 or something, you know, within their regular scope. It's not in their budget this year, so I don't think I would expect them to fund it this year. But if they see that there are people here, and, you know, I mean, I would be all for them going and doing, you know, checks. You know, if they're going to be firemen, we're not going to have stuff for them to do all the time. Get in the car, go to school and do checks on the fire extinguishers, and maybe be up there and participate in fire drills and see how they're, you know, go out to all the businesses and in the industrial park and see how things are and what they might recommend that they need to do. But I think they said Avigen had 2 or 3 fires this past year. That was one of the reasons that they were keen on having somebody that could come and respond. So
Looks like, I don't know who insures Avigen, but if you could prove you had better coverage, that might help your insurance.
Might get some of that back.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm you know, I'm always open to good ideas, and that seemed like a good one to me. But it's a good one. It costs a lot of money too.
Yeah.
So just be thinking on it. We got time to decide, but I say time. You know, I'd say in the next month or so we need to decide if we want to move forward with that or not. So be thinking on that.
We always have little minor landscaping stuff and things like that. And that'd be, you know,
Yeah, weeding.
weeding around this building
Right.
and stuff like that. And when we were doing so much watering and stuff like that,
Yeah,
they do that for it real easy, you know.
absolutely. All right, so that's what that's about. And I think Tony was at seat last time, so I want to make sure we talk about that with him here. But Tammy was here, so was Dustin here last time? Yeah. Okay, so I think everybody's up to speed on that now. All right, process updates, don't have any. We do have we wanted to look at that, maybe skinny down that thing. I've sent something to Shane. I don't know if Shane went on vacation or what, but I've asked him several questions and he's gone silent on me about the, narrowing the scope of the abandoned building thing that we looked at, because it kind of opens the door a little bit too wide that might last on in a lot of things that we don't have to start trying to keep up with. And then we have and that's the only thing that's holding us up from updating the zoning book, is to figure out how that gets added in, if that's an addendum at the back, or, how we do that. And the tiny house thing, we've got the 1,000 square foot in there minimum, but we don't have that it's on a foundation, so there's a few little odds and ends in there in the zoning book, just to, as as things change, you kind of observe what the world's doing and try to make sure you keep things in line for the betterment of the town. New business then, that's all old business I got. Y'all got anything, old business?
I just wanted to bring back up the video streaming and archiving for the meetings. I didn't know if anybody had thought anything else about that, but YouTube, I've been looking into it. YouTube is free. Of course, once you upload, it's there so that would be the archive. It can be live streamed via PC on webcam, or you could do it via mobile and upload the video after the fact if you didn't want to have the live, the live capability, live streaming during the meeting. You could upload it after the fact and still have the archive to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, I have thought about that. Somebody brought that up, I don't know, last summer or something. And kind of my thoughts on that are, the internet is, it is just what it says. It's a World Wide Web, right? So that's for everybody in the world. And that's nice. But the town limits, I think, if you're on a bicycle, you can get here in 5 minutes. Anybody that we represent. So I think anybody that we represent within 5 minutes can be here on a bicycle. So I don't think that there's anybody being excluded from town business. And we started having a bunch of people come. We got people here that's come as regulars now. So I don't see the purpose of it. We take minutes, they're published. Nobody has to, has a hard time getting here. It's, seems pretty simple to me. If you need something, we'd kind of like you to come so we can hear from you. People love to complain from afar. That's always good. So that'll continue, I'm sure. That's my thoughts on it.
All right. And this is just a quick question. Who handles the town Facebook page now?
Dustin has access to it. I have access to it, but it's through my wife because I don't have a Facebook page. And Chris has access to it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. On to new business. You got something, Jack, old business?
Well, the awnings.
Oh, yeah.
I got with those people, and I'm still waiting on them to come look. But
Yeah.
They told me they had 2 big jobs going, and I know the weather hadn't been friendly. So, but anyway, I don't have any updates on that, but we're just on their list to come and measure and get that redone over there.
Very
I have
good.
some other options if you're interested. If you can't get these people to respond, I'm just,
They'll come
okay,
when they get it. And I really like the work that they do and the fact that they've been in business about 60 years, I feel like if we have a problem, we just pick up the phone, they'll be back.
got it.
So,
This seems to be taking a really long time.
well, this is a big for us, but it's a drop in the bucket to them. I mean, they do lots of work, all over North Alabama. So,
This has taken a long time, but it hadn't all been trying to contact these people. We tried to get it.
we try to get
Group
it
out of
somewhere
Atlanta.
else.
They did this building at first, and then they never did show up.
Yeah. No, these people have been far more responsive than anybody else that we've dealt with.
Okay,
So I feel good about them. They're just a little behind, and
okay.
I can't fuss about people being behind. I'm not the speediest devil on earth sometimes.
Y'all reminded me, we did contact the Tuscumbia Ironworks folks, and they said they will provide us the 15 globes, the small globes that we need so that we can get those new lamp posts up. But that guy's talking about talking about being a hustler now. When we'll get those, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he did acknowledge that, yes, if we needed them, he would supply them. Tanya, did we ever pay him the other half of the bill?
I don't know.
I don't think we did.
We might not
I
have.
really don't think
I'll have
we
to
did.
check it.
I don't think-
That's what's taking so long.
Well, it might be, but
He didn't
anyway.
know either.
He don't know either, no. No,
He
no.
didn't know.
Yeah,
He didn't know.
I really don't, but anyway, he did acknowledge that if we were
I'll
short,
check on that.
because there come 5 to a box, Chris unboxed everything and there are 5 in a box and we need, and sure enough, we need 3 boxes of them. So he said he would get those to us on their next order. The Lord knows what's that mean, I don't know.
Well, we'll never get that straightened up over there till all that stuff gets put out.
Yeah,
There's so
yeah.
much of it that's fragile, you know, you can't.
Oh, the stew thing though, that worked out great. As
Oh,
cold as
yeah.
it was, that was, of course, the doors were closed because it
Yeah.
was too cold to open them, but, they just pulled a trailer in and they worked off the trailer. That
Sharp
was pretty
setup,
cool.
wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I think we'll see more of that because they told me they were gonna start selling at 11, so I waited till about 11:20 to go get mine, and they were down to the last pot.
We were at 11:30 and they were scraping the dregs off the bottom, but it was still good.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, so it was good. Okay, any other old business? New business, I think the only thing I had was the park, and we've gone over that, unless there's additional stuff. Everybody got the email from John Bob that, and I'm hoping he's gonna be willing to help head this up and identify, we already identified things that need to be done, so now we just need him to participate in fixing it, which is what we want. And I think that's what he's saying, he's willing to do that, so I sent him a big thank you, I guess y'all saw that. So I thought he would be here tonight, I thought the only reason he didn't come last night was because he had his daughter or something or other, so. Anyway, so he ought to be, maybe he's part of the youth league now with his daughter or grandniece or something, I don't know, but I'm glad to see people wanting to get involved and fix things, so that's good. Anything else come before the council? You have a motion for adjournment?
I'll
Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, thank y'all very much.
I'm gonna decorate.